the best place in outer space, Kids Planet! How do you do, Royal Kids Planet subjects? We're going to have a royally good time today. I'm Nova, and we're visiting the exciting world of Nobility. We're taking off in 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Whee! We must go to the land of castles. Watch out for those spires. This looks like a great place to start. We're continuing our quest to learn many great things that will teach us to be fantastic people who make good choices. So, here is the magical land of Nobility. Nobility means the people forming the noble class in a country or state. You know, like kings and queens and dukes and stuff. Here, as part of our quest to be great people, we will all learn about how to be kings and queens and knights. Right? That doesn't seem right. Here he comes, your royal subjects. Here is Sir Curious. Curious! Are we teaching kids to be like kings and queens? I mean, that's what nobility means, right? No? Oh, okay then. So, what does being noble mean? Oh, I get it now. It means having or showing qualities that people really appreciate. Like honesty, generosity, or courage. Gosh, I guess we didn't need to fly to the land of castles after all. Although I'm sure kings and queens can be noble too. Can you think of a time when you did something noble? It would have to be something courageous or generous or very honest that you did for someone else. Sometimes it's even things that don't seem like much. Like giving your best friend the spotlight. One time, my best friend Galaxy and I auditioned to sing in a play. The director liked her singing and she got a big part. But I didn't. Even though I was disappointed at first, I was so happy for my friend Galaxy. She has a beautiful voice, and it's nice that others think so too. It's okay for someone to be better at something. We all have different talents. Galaxy was very noble as well, because she was humble and didn't brag about getting the part. We were both noble in different ways. My mom was so proud of me. She told me that I was being magnanimous. Say it with me. Magnanimous. Phew, that's a big word. Let's break that down. Magna is Latin for great, and animus is Latin for spirit. It literally means a person has great spirit. Can you name some people like that? Often when you hear someone say, "Well, there goes an upstanding citizen," they are speaking of someone who is noble. There are lots of ways we can tell that someone is noble. When we come back, we will talk about how a person might be noble. But first, it's time for our Nova quiz. Sometimes to truly understand what something means, I think about what the opposite of the word means. Like the opposite of cold is hot. or the opposite of short, is tall? Which word or words seem to be the opposite of noble? A. Jealous. B. Dishonest. C. Lazy. D. All of the above. See if you can choose the right answer. We'll be right back with more Kids Planet! Welcome back! Ready to have some more fun? Yay! Me too! Let's learn the answer to our Nova quiz. Do you remember the question? Which word or words seem to be the opposite of noble? A. Jealous. B. Dishonest. C. Lazy. D. All of the above. If you guessed D, all of the above, you're right. They are the opposite of noble. All right, let's keep this noble expedition moving. We're now in the ancient Norse world of the Viking. The Vikings had very specific ideas about what it took to be noble and honorable. They're known as the 9 noble virtues. I can't remember them all, but I know who might. Curious! Curious, I know that there are 9 noble virtues that we need to learn so that we can be noble. Can you help us out? Let's get ready for a planet list. Number 1 is courage. Courage means you might stand up for someone else in need. Like maybe you stand up for someone at school when they're being teased. You can also be morally courageous, which means you stand up for what you believe in. The second virtue is truth. That's just what it says it is. It means telling the truth. It means not doing things that feel dishonest. If you feel weird about doing something, you probably shouldn't be doing it. That wouldn't be noble. Number 3 is honor. You can honor yourself and others. Honor means you respect yourself and you stand up for what you believe in. And you also respect others. You let them have their own beliefs and ideas, even if they're different from yours. And even if they have something that you want. And guess what? That's the next virtue on the list. Loyalty means you always have your family's and friends' best interests at heart. That you remain true to those who really matter to you. And that you always stand up for them in times of need. That doesn't mean that you do anything dishonest to help them. People who aren't noble themselves may need understanding. But that doesn't mean you need to give them your loyalty. Give your loyalty to people who behave in noble ways. Curious, what's next on the list? Okay. Discipline. Wait, discipline? Discipline means that we commit to being noble. Just like we use discipline if we want to be healthy and strong. We eat good foods, exercise, and get a lot of sleep. Well, practicing nice manners, helping friends, and being understanding is the discipline we need to make us noble. That makes more sense now. All right, next up, industry. Industry means hard work. To be someone who is seen as noble and someone to be respected, we must work hard. Okay, number 7 is self-reliance. Thanks, Curious. I guess I could have seen that myself on Curious's browser. That would have been self-reliance. If you have ballet practice, try to remember what time it is and be ready to go so your mom and dad don't have to always remind you. That's what being self-reliant means. You are independent and can do a lot of things on your own. Number 8 is hospitality. We must be giving and make others feel welcome. It might mean shoveling snow in your driveway before your relatives come to visit. It might mean being nice to cousins even though they're not being nice. Or helping your brother Neutron get his school stuff together. All of these things are good examples of hospitality. Finally, number 9 on our Noble Virtues Planet list is perseverance. It means we keep on trying, even when things get hard. There are a lot of virtues on that list, but I know that Kids Planet kids have the ability to do all of those things. It really isn't that hard to be a good person, and being noble is pretty much the same thing. When we come back, we'll meet some fascinating real people who were very noble. But first, let's have another Nova quiz. Which of these examples seems the most noble? Would it be A, an evil cat, B, a class bully, C, a friend who shares? See if you can guess the right answer. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Kids Planet! We're back! Let's continue our incredible adventure. But first, let's find out the answer to our Nova quiz. Remember the question? Yes! Which of these examples seems the most noble? Would it be A, an evil cat? Let's see. Cats are awesome pets. My cat Astro is the nicest. But if we're talking about an evil cat, can she be considered noble? Nope, that can't be. B, a class bully. I don't think so. So it must be C. If you answered C, a friend who shares, you're right. Sharing is an act of kindness and hospitality, which also happens to be a virtue of nobleness. Remember? Friends aren't always perfect, but can have a very noble character, and that's all that matters. Some days they can be kind of grumpy, but deep down they have a good heart and always do what's right. There are others in this world, real people, who are very noble. Can you think of any in your own family or group of friends? I bet you can. There are many famous people who are very noble as well. One is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela stood up against some injustice in his country, South Africa, and got put into jail for his trouble. He never really did anything wrong. He was doing right things in a bad situation. Once he got out, he showed that he was magnanimous to his enemies. Remember, magnanimous means to have great spirit. And fixed the unfairness in his country and healed the bad feelings that surrounded it. He even became president of South Africa. Wow! Noble people can go really far. Rigoberta Menchú is another very fine example of someone who is noble. She's a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She stood up for the rights of the native people of Guatemala after the Guatemalan Civil War. She wanted their lives to be protected so that they would not suffer. She also ran for president twice. It's interesting that the Nobel Peace Prize, that's a prize they give to people who help the world be a great place. Ah, people like Mother Teresa. She was a Catholic nun who gave up all things to make poor people more comfortable. She even helped kids like us. She had loyalty to the poor. She gave hospitality to them all. She was honest. And she suffered so that others might have a better life. Does that go with our virtues? Yes, every single one. Can you think of ways you use these great virtues in your own life? I'm very loyal to my friend Galaxy and would never let anyone hurt her or join in with anyone to make her feel bad. I try to share things with my big brother Neutron. That's being hospitable. Sometimes truth and honesty are harder because we have to sometimes admit that we did something we shouldn't have. But most of the time, those are just mistakes. Of course, we need to remember that once we make the same mistakes over and over again, those are no longer mistakes, but choices. I think every kid uses courage every day when we learn new things. Meet new people. Stand up for what's right. I try every day to clean my room and keep it clean. That's perseverance. And it's also hard work. But I have to rely on myself to do it. I can't make my parents or my brother or my best friend clean up after me. That wouldn't be self-reliance. It would be being lazy. Honoring others can sometimes be tricky too, because we want great things, and sometimes others get them. We have to realize that's okay. Others can do and get great things on some days, and then other days we might get them. We can be happy for each other, like I was happy for Galaxy. And discipline is what helps us to do it all. It's the gas in the engine of our magnanimity. There's part of that word again. Discipline is a part of our great spirit. It helps us to grow and build up our skills to pursue an honorable life. I can also think of times when I was not so noble. Can you? These are times that we can remember and learn from. Remember, though, when the same mistakes happen over and over, they become choices, and choices become who we are. If you remember these virtues and practice them in your life, then you are well on your way to being noble. You can be regal, but not royal. A leader without being a king. You can be an important person by making others feel important. Wow, we've learned so much today. First, curious. Can you remind us of the difference between noble and noble? Nobility can mean either being a king or queen, or part of a royal family. Or it can mean having or showing qualities that people really appreciate, like honesty, generosity, or courage. That's the one we can really put to use. Do you remember the 9 noble virtues? Let's review them. Ready? Yay! 1. Loyalty. 2. Hospitality. 3. Honesty, truth. 4. Courage. 5. Perseverance. 6. Industry, hard work. 7. Self-reliance. 8. Honor. 9. Discipline. Right! Try to learn these by heart. They'll come in handy and will remind you how to act when the time is right. When you don't know what else to do, always do what will make you feel like you did something honest and right. The right thing will never make you feel bad. You have it in you to be a Nelson Mandela or a Rigoberta Menchú. You can help others like Mother Teresa. Or maybe do other things that make the world a better place. We have the power in all of us to be noble. You just have to do good things every day. If you work hard towards that goal, you will make it. I have faith in you. Before we end today's mission, we have to make a quick stop for our interplanet trivia. And we're going to need some help. Why don't we call my best friend Galaxy? Yay, Galaxy, you're here! We learned a lot about nobility and being noble today. We learned that the word nobility can refer to people from the noble class in a country, like kings and queens. But nobility can also refer to people who have qualities like honesty, generosity, and courage. It's also when we have a great spirit. Awesome! Now let's test what we've learned. Do you think you can figure out which of these 3 examples demonstrates nobility? Is it this one? Galaxy came over one day because she wanted to play princesses. We put on crowns and beautiful dresses and played all day. Or could it be this one? Galaxy made sure that none of her friends was ever made fun of, and she promised herself to never join in and make fun of someone else. Or maybe it's this one? Galaxy didn't study for her math test, but she wasn't worried. She decided that instead of studying, she would just copy off the person sitting next to her. Think about what we learned. Do you think you can figure it out? Here, although Galaxy is dressed up as a princess, she's not really one. Playing pretend can be great because we can be whoever we want, even a princess. But that doesn't mean we're actually nobility in real life. Here, Galaxy's making sure to stay loyal to her friends. She's being thoughtful and looking out for them. And this is a good characteristic of nobility. Here, Galaxy is being dishonest. You should never cheat on anything. And if you're struggling with something, be sure to ask for help. The answer has to be Galaxy showing loyalty to her friends. Awesome job, everyone. You too, Galaxy. Nobility isn't only for kings and queens. We can all be noble. If you don't know what else to do, always do what will make you feel like you did the right and honest thing. The right thing will never make you feel bad. Way to go, guys! It's time to say goodbye now. We'll see each other again soon. Right here in the best place in outer space. Kids Planet! See you next time.